Project Motor Racing for the PlayStation 5. Gotta say, I'm really excited to try this out. Our first look was less than. I'm just gonna say that. Saw it at the Sim Gaming Expo, and Jake and I it was just the setup. It wasn't the game or sim. This looks very simish, by the way. But anyway, let's get going. Darin here for Inside Sim Racing, and before I get started, I want to thank Tim Wheatley, who I've known a long time in this industry. He used to, and I think he does. He still owns, well, he didn't for a while, but owns Race Sim Central, which was like a huge hub for blogs and all sorts of stuff. And I think he sold it to the Sim Raceway guys. Anyway, doesn't matter. Tim works for Straight 4 Studios. And he helps with licensing and stuff. I saw him at the Sim Gaming Expo, which I just mentioned. Never met him in person, but it was great to finally meet him in person. Hey, Tim, if you're watching, thank you so much for getting me hooked up. We actually got to do some behind-the-scenes looks at Project Motor Racing in the factory development program or factory driver program, something like that. But anyway, I'm super excited to try this out. I'm probably the most excited. Then again, I was pretty excited for Assetto Corsa Rally if you watch that, but I'd say I'm equally as excited to try this out. I honestly haven't driven it yet. I looked at it, pointing that way because we have a PC set up right there. Jake and the guys drove it on the factory development program, looked great, but I just honestly didn't have time to give it a try and kind of wanted to wait for today to share my first look with you guys. And first up, I want to talk about, and I haven't made any adjustments, and I'm not sure I'm gonna, and if I do, I'll speed past it so you guys aren't bored with it. But they sent this guide, this force feedback setup guide, which I thought was gonna only apply to the PC, but, so I've booted this up, and let's just start getting into stuff here. So if I push oh, by the way, actually, my setup, I'm running our SimMotion 80mm chassis. You've got the Logitech RS50 for my wheel, Logitech RS pedals, 43-inch Aorus gaming monitor, capable of 120 hertz. I have no idea what the frame rates are. I'm capturing at 60 frames, but I'm not sure what this title is capable of on the PlayStation. But anywho, let's get into the settings. L3 goes into the settings. I've already bound my controls. But then check this out. So this guide, global force feedback gain. So it's detecting a Logitech wheel. So let's see if it's got some of the settings. I'll show you guys a full-size image of this. So low force boost, force feedback detail, force feedback smoothing, force feedback headroom. Rack feel, alignment boost, steering stiffness, haptic strength. For game pads and wheels, this changes how strong rumble cues are for grip loss, curbs, and impacts. Think of it as a vibration knob. So, you know what? I'm not going to go into each one of these. Maybe I'll come back and make some adjustments while I'm driving if I need to. But how freaking awesome of these guys to send this. I mean, that is, you know what? That's telling me sim racers had, and no offense to any other game developer, but that tells me sim racers had a hand in developing this title, and seeing things like this guide tells me that. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, and I want to get to driving. Save and exit. And we're going to start with, let's start with some challenges. Oh. So this is online multiplayer. What's going on here? So this is PlayStation Plus. Maybe I need to be logged into PlayStation Plus just to do... Interesting that I would need to do that for challenges. Maybe because it's getting stuff off of a leaderboard or something. So all right, so let's scratch that. Let's just go straight to career. And I need to put my headphones on so I can hear what the heck's going on here. Turn the music off, the in-game music, because just for Didn't want to get busted for license stuff here on YouTube. Start your motorsport journey by choosing one of 3 continents as your headquarters. When making the choice, remember that while all cars and events are immediately available, the cost of cars and entry fees will be affected by the location of your headquarters. Cool. Event travel and repair costs will automatically be deducted after each race weekend, so keep an eye on your expenses. Be aware that aggressive driving or poor finishes won't sustain a professional team for very long. Sponsorships are the lifeblood of your team. Before each season, select the terms that you feel give you the best chance of survival in this tough, unpredictable industry. Project Motor Racing is best enjoyed with the career experience option set to authentic. This locks the difficulty to 100 and disables race restarts. Wow. For those wanting to customize every element of their career experience, set the toggle option to classic. Good luck. I love that. All right. So team registration, I'm just going to leave. I'll stay in, well, I might as well stay in North America because that's where I am. Rolling billboard, sponsorship model. Oh, so basically a rolling billboard, that's a traditional sponsorship arrangement. You're paid a flat amount per race, and that amount is based on the prestige of the car you're racing. Your performance doesn't matter with this model. You're a rolling billboard and nothing more. I love it. Competitive, you're paid a slightly higher flat fee per race. That's derived from the prestige of the car you're racing, but there's a catch. You're only paid if you finish on the podium. Wow. This option is best for consistent drivers. Okay, cool. I'll go for that. Starting budget, $650,000. Authentic or classic? I'm going to stick with authentic. And race length, let's just take 1 times. And hopefully these races aren't too long so I don't bore you guys so we can get through some of the career here. I'm going to play for, I don't know, about an hour here and just give you guys my first look and take on this. Okay, so we got 650 grand to spend, and it looks like the Aston Martins kind of max that out. Wow. So I don't think I want to spend my whole budget here. Oh, America, we got to go Corvette. I know I could go Mustang, but if you've watched the show for a while, you know I'm a Chevy guy. All right, and that gives me some budget to work with. I don't know if that changes anything, but I'm going to go with the Vet. Yes. Manage team. What's this? Oh, that's what I was just doing. You know what? Let's team name. All right, so changed my name and the team name. Got to do that at least. Oh, we got an entry fee. So I guess you get to pick which one. Let's do the GT3. Entry fee, 42 grand. So see, you have to save some money to be able to enter. Wow, so the GT3 World Championships is 115,000. German GT3 Masters, 63,000. I love this whole thing. UK GT3 Trophy. So each one's got a different, wow. The Nordschleife 250 is a 230,000 entry fee. These are some big entry fees for this, but I like this. This is a cool setup. So let's go 42 grand for the GT3 series. Oh, and Daytona. 12 laps. Perfect. So I know Daytona is one of the easier road courses on the planet, but it's one of my favorites, and it's because I love the 24 hours of Daytona. And so probably a perfect place for me to get started here. Wow. Graphically, this looks pretty damn good, PlayStation. Definitely don't need to watch a whole flyby here. It looks like it stopped right there anyway. So let's see what we got for vehicle setup stuff. Tires and chassis. Oh, so you can change force feedback per car here. Suspension, yeah, not going to get lost in that. Fuel 11 gallons, pit setup, auto compound, refuel amount 22 gallons, repair damage all. So let's drive. Now, I wonder if I could turn the wheel off. Let's cockpit setup. Oh, I love that you can change the seating position. Oh, yes. I love this. You can change the mirrors, which I'm not really seeing. Tilt up a little bit so I can see my rear view here. So you can change camera movement. We'll just leave that alone. HUD setup. See, I'm hoping I could turn the wheel off. Oh, wait. Wheel inputs display. I bet that's just a little wheel input dealio. Force feedback feels live. So it doesn't, well, this is kind of cool. You can change where your widgets are. I'm looking to try to change preferences. Maybe it's under preferences. Cinematic, crossplay enabled, online terms, which I already did all this stuff. Changed it all to Imperial. You can run either Imperial metric, input device settings, control bindings, assists, pretty much everything. We got auto blip on, auto clutch, because I don't have a manual shifter and I don't want to paddle and clutch. Yeah, let's drive.
Clear of pit lane.
Okay, first impressions, I got to make some adjustments as force feedback. Yeah, see, there's some weird stuff going on. See that? Let's just turn this down a little bit. See some weird stuff going on. So it says the smoothing should remove some of this stuff. So let's turn this up to 30. Whoa. So there's something going on. So there's definitely some, well, maybe it's in, I wonder if it's in the car. So there's a steering rack rate. I'm just turning these things down. I'm just going to turn some of these things down and see if it fixes that. So let's just try that for starters. Rev lights work on the wheel, that's nice. Okay, so definitely need to get this force feedback dialed in because now it's just kind of too light. Feel the bumps. Whoa, that was weird. Just kind of dropped off there. Not feeling those curbs. The force feedback's just kind of funky. I'll just leave it here. Just barely touch it. You can see it just dancing. Whoa! Someone put a cone out in the middle of the track. So just some basic stuff. Frame rate looks really good. I don't know if it's running in 60. I'm assuming it's running 60 frames a second. We got this PlayStation hooked up for 120, because I know Gran Turismo supports it, but I don't know if this does. But let's see if there's any input lag. So you can see a little bit of input lag, it looks like, but I don't feel like it's affecting my driving. Sounds are cool. Heard some tire squeal there. So definitely some funky stuff going on with the force feedback. It's like wanting to pull to the right. Like getting some oscillation too. I'm just gonna check my profile. See what's weird is there's like, even when I turn it off, and I'm just in, look at, even when I'm just in the menu, there's some funky stuff going on. Oh, whoa, there it goes. So I'm just gonna check my settings. So I got it at 8 newton meters here. Force feedback filter. Let's turn this force feedback filter in the RS menu here was at 1. So let's just turn that to 10. Damper was at 20. Let's turn that up a little bit. Angle, 540 degrees of rotation, which I calibrated it for, so I'll keep that. Brake force, I'm going to leave. That felt good. RPM mode, fine. All right, so see it. Whoa. Yeah, there's some funky stuff going on. I'm almost afraid to have my hand in the wheel. Any haptic, just in case we don't want anything creating any funkiness. Okay, it's still doing the kind of funky things, but let's... Okay, so now, don't feel any curb. So it's less jittery for sure, but I have like no feel. Let's turn that back up. And I turn those haptics down, so let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it's just dead. Man, you know, so let's just go back to the pits. I gotta say, this is 2 out of 3 of my first looks since we rebooted this channel where the force feedback, it sucks out of the box on the PlayStation here. NASCAR 25 was horrible. And now this is like, man, I hate to say it, this is just as bad. So I'm way off the pace, but I'm not surprised. I barely did anything here. Trying to get things sorted out, but I got qualifying. Let's see what I can do. I'm gonna put my head down here, see what I can do qualifying. Yeah, there's an odd feeling at center. There's like, look at some weird oscillations. No haptic, so no true force isn't working, which would be nice if they got that going. Then again, I did turn haptics off, but I wasn't feeling anything before I did. Yeah, this is like borderline hard to control, because you see the wheels just snapping on me.
Full focus. Full.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go back, get out of the career stuff here. See what cars we got to choose from. So it looks like just, oh, we got, so GT3, 992 trophy. Ooh, got some old school. All right, we got to drive some old school. GTO, sports car, GT4, NGT, 964 trophy, MX5 trophy. Okay, so definitely a cool collection of cars. Oh, I got to drive this. Hell yeah. 4th gen Camaro. Wait, is that a 3rd gen? I think that's a 3rd gen. I got to check this out. Yeah, let's go to Mosport. Canadian tires, whatever track. I notice Mosport. One of my favorites. I love this track. And that I don't know if it's called the tabletop right there, But so there's definitely the force feedback detail is affecting the road feel. I'm going to turn the smoothing up a little bit more. Might as well just turn the haptics up for the heck of it. Oh, we definitely want to turn off. Okay, brake dead zone's not there. It's almost like the force feedback's inverted. You know, there's some games like R Factor Le Mans Ultimate. I think you have to reverse the force feedback. It almost feels like it's reversed. Let's drive this beast. Yeah, see, look at that. It's got some weird. Weird oscillations.
Hammer down now.
Like the tire sounds. Engine sounds pretty cool. Love that you get to drive this old school Camaro. So the tire sounds are almost a little exaggerated, but I like that. Not that I've ever driven a real race car like this. Oh man, these guys are fast. Damn. See what the AI is like. Old Cougar. I think Robbie Gordon drove that car. So, I'm just having a hard time. This AI is smoking me. But I'm having a hard time just feeling, you know, the wheels dancing around so much. I have a hard time focusing on what I'm doing. Give you guys an idea what I'm feeling here. This is just barely holding on to the wheel, but look at how it's like pulling. I mean, it's dancing just sitting in the in the menus. So maybe this is such a new wheel they didn't have a chance to test with it or something. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to give me Logitech G29 force feedback. I don't know, but I am struggling just to get a feel for this. So I'm just going to go straight to races. Let's just test one last thing here.
I hope you're ready for the start from the back challenge.
Yep, start from the back challenge, exactly. So I'm just going to kind of see how the AI plays out here with a start. And then I'm going to wrap this up because, man, I'm just struggling. And I could sit here and try to dial in force feedback settings to try to figure out what the heck is going on. Like I'm seeing this alignment boost. I don't remember seeing load boost and friction. I don't remember seeing those settings. Yeah, so all we've got is low force boost, force feedback detail, force feedback smoothing. Maybe I'll smooth it out some more. Headroom, which you can't imagine it's a headroom thing. I'll turn the headroom up, I don't know. And haptic strength. See if there's just anything down here I'm missing. Nope. I'm just struggling to get any kind of like positive feel out of this due to the force feedback just being so funky. That's kind of cool. Brett Connors. Okay, I will say the AI is freaking fast. I'm assuming I just got it at 100. Probably should have been in third gear there. Okay, the AI's smoking me. I think I see some damage. So, that obviously wasn't the greatest start, but I'm just, man, I'm struggling to get a feel for this. And I don't want to make excuses because I want to love this title. I mean, who but me would love nothing more than to drive a GTO Camaro? But, man, God, come on, guys. I know there's a ton of different wheels and stuff to test, but on the PlayStation, you only have a handful. Why isn't this better? I mean, why isn't this... Man, that was at 90 is my AI strength. Why didn't you guys spend more time making sure that this felt right out of the box? I mean, you guys should have presets for Logitech and Thrustmaster and Fanatec to where this is plug and play. Here's the thing, on a console, people want plug and play. And I like the tunability that you guys are offering here, but I hate to say it, there's going to be some pissed off people when they start driving this. Because, I mean, maybe on a gamepad it feels good. You know, maybe I'll drive some gamepad here. Probably do better with a gamepad than I will with the frickin' controller. Or than with the wheel and pedals. But disappointed again. I want this to be good. Now, graphics look good. This is, again, PlayStation. I'm assuming the graphics on the PC are going to look better. You know, anti-aliasing and that kind of stuff. Frame rates will probably be better. Love to try it in motion. Physics feel good. Sounds are cool. Career mode seems cool. But, yeah, so let's drive with a... I don't even know how to shift. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, so I got some rumble effect with the controller. It looks like there is some damage. I don't know what's just... Okay, last thing we're gonna test before we wrap this up is damage model. All right, so it's bending the car up a little bit. He graphically looks cool. I apologize for my crappy driving here. Gamepad driving is not my thing. But it looks like the car definitely gets damage. Flames look cool coming out of the exhaust. And body roll looks cool. Man, you know, props to you gamepad drivers. It is not easy. You got to get used to it, obviously, but braking with one finger. So damage looks pretty cool. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Dejected again. Hey, Tim, Austin, you guys reach out to me and I will do a follow-up in an instant on this. If you guys could give me some good quality settings for the Logitech. This isn't drivable for me. And so anyway, going to wrap things up. Thank you guys at Straight 4 for hooking me up with this title early. They're supposed to be sending me a Steam code to check out, and I'll definitely give it a try on the PC. Hopefully it's a lot better. Hopefully I have a code by tomorrow and we can test it out on the PC, because they closed that factory driver program. But anyway, I'm Darin Ganji for Inside Sim Racing. Hope you've enjoyed this more than I have. See you guys next time.